AI is here. Everybody's very excited about it. Maybe they're anxious about it, but there's this urgency to be involved and to be doing all the things. And at the same time, I feel like we need to take a few steps back to make sure that that data is where we need it first. And so where do you think that balance lies?
I'm a data person and I'm a perfectionist.
She's like, who are you talking to?
So I might say you have to wait for the right data, but I also know, right? Like you can't always wait for various reasons. You are trying to get in the market. You might lose competitive advantage if you are not the first one to enter. So you'll have to think like anything that I build, is it consumable? We talked about the pizza earlier, right? Where you are throwing everything. If you're just trying to get speed and throw everything, can somebody eat it?
No.
If they can't eat it, then what's the point? Then you are just wasting your time and money.
AI isn't the future, it's now. And whether you're in HR, sales, operations, or leadership, the choices you make today will determine whether you thrive or get left behind.
Welcome to the AI Voice or Victim podcast. We are live at the AI-Powered Women Conference here at MIT, and I am sitting with none other than Pooja Basu. Welcome to the podcast. Pooja, how are you?
I am great. Very excited to be here.
Oh my goodness. We also have Greg Boone in the house, but Pooja, we want to hear about you because I've heard you're an AI badass.
Thank you. I'm Pooja. I have been an IT technologist for years. I started my career in data, and right now I am a VP of data platforms at Fidelity. Been using AI, a very avid user of AI.
I'm so excited that you're here because we're talking about why it is so important to have the right data. And I think this is something that really makes people very nervous for a lot of reasons. Number one, they're scared to put their data in. Number two, a lot of people have dirty data. And so then they don't even know where to start. So we always hear this, garbage in, garbage out. Can you kind of break down for me why it is so important to have clean, accurate data?
So imagine you are making smoothie, and now you have sour yogurt, rotten bananas, black apples, filthy oranges. How do you think that smoothie would taste like?
I'm not going to enjoy it, Pooja.
So it's the same thing when you are making any AI solution or analytical solution, where having clean data is very, very important. You need to know who your customers are. Whom are you building the data? Do you have not only accurate data, but fresh data? People's preference change over the time. For example, I might like banana earlier, but I don't like them anymore. So you need to make sure not only you have clean data, you need to have accurate data as well. The third is you need to make sure you have some governance around it. You mentioned people get very uncomfortable. Nobody wants to share their data if they are not getting enough value out of it. If I'm getting enough value out of my data share, I might be willing. But I want to know how my data is being used. Is it used against me? So having a proper governance framework is very critical for building an AI solution.
When you're thinking about that governance framework, what are some of the key components that should be in there?
So one of the key components that immediately comes to my mind is, or two, I would say. One is, are you basically masking the data? Like, are people going to be identify that this is Pooja Basu who said it, or it's more generalized? The more you make it generalized and you remove the personally identifiable information, that's critical. The second one is how long you are retaining my data. And again, I'll give you a live example, right? For example, if I got caught speeding, DMV stores my data. I don't want DMV to store that data more than 3 years. That's what they were supposed to. I don't want any AI model in future that's trying to predict my driving insurance use that one bad driving incident in future. So this example in a way ties both personally identified example where I want after 3 years they demask the data completely and if possible remove it.
That's such a good point. I didn't even think about that. I want to talk about, though, having the right data, because I know while I'm thinking about creating all of these agents, sometimes it's like, well, I'm just going to give it everything I have. Like, here's my book, here's all my trainings, here's transcripts, and it's really too much. So
speaking from personal experience, it sounds like.
I'm just speaking hypothetically, y'all. Hypothetically
Okay.
speaking. But so how does it make a difference from like the right data to too much data?
Again, we'll go back to the food example.
More
I'm
smoothie. I love it. I love it.
Imagine you are making a pizza, and do you want to add chocolates and tomatoes and onions and olives and that cupcake you have in the fridge?
Not really.
wants to-
Yeah,
Exactly.
not really. I love these. These are real, tangible examples, though, that, it's like, talk to me like I'm a fifth grader, but that's what makes sense for people today. So it's so important. I mean, this thing about data, what really makes me nervous about it, too, though, especially as an HR professional, is like, we just have so much dirty data, and I don't know that people understand that it's dirty, or they don't know how dirty it is. And so, like, what is that first step when it comes to cleaning it all up?
See, when you are trying to clean the data, right, you need to make sure it has the right context. Again, for example, my first name is Pooja, my last name is Basu. If you mix it up, that doesn't make for a good solution. The next solution, I'll get a little bit technical, is around master data management. And again, I'll go with example. I do my banking at Bank of America, and I have 3 different accounts there. I might have one account as just P. Basu, the other might be with Pooja B, and the third one is like my full name, Pooja Basu. If Bank of America cannot tie that all my 3 accounts are together, suppose one of them is brokerage account, they might just reach out to me later on saying that, hey, you haven't opened up a brokerage account with me. Can you open an account with us? And I'm like scratching my head. You don't even know me as a person. I'm already your customer. I already have that type of account with you. So as you are trying to build clean data, you really need to figure out, right? Like, how do you remove duplication from the data? How do you remove stale data? How do you remove unclean data? We talked about masking the data. So can you remove personally identifiable information if you really don't need? So those are few steps you need to take for making your data clean.
Yeah, we have a talk about like data harmonization, right? To that point, right? You use your name, for example, in previous companies, we would talk about the idea of like, in one system it's IBM, and another system it's International
Exactly.
Business Machines, and another, and then people don't understand the redundancy and the challenges that come from that,
Yeah, and you might not even then understand how much total business you are doing with that company just
Right.
because they are in different names. And if you are going and meeting somebody senior there, you might just give a random number, and the other person, your client there is scratching like, oh, I do billions of dollars of business, and they don't even know how much business I'm doing with them. They might lose trust.
100%.
But here's where like my brain is also going, is because AI is here. Everybody's very excited about it. Maybe they're anxious about it, but there's this urgency to be involved and to be doing all the things. And at the same time, I feel like we need to take a few steps back to make sure that that data is where we need it first. And so where do you think that balance lies?
I'm a data person and I'm a perfectionist.
She's like, who are you talking to?
So I might say you have to wait for the right data, but I also know, right? Like, you can't always wait for various reasons. You are trying to get in the market. You might lose competitive advantage if you are not the first one to enter. So you'll have to think like, anything that I build, is it consumable? We talked about the pizza earlier, right? Where you are throwing everything. If you're just trying to get speed and throw everything, can somebody eat it?
No.
If they can't eat, then what's the point? Then you are just wasting your time and money. So you'll have to think about who are your consumers, what problem you are trying to solve, and do you have right enough data to at least build an MVP? So if you take an MVP approach and keep customer at mind first, what are the problems you are trying to solve, then you might not have to wait for making all the data right.
So you're saying start with that MVP in mind.
Start small, have a very clearly identified problem statement in mind, clearly targeted consumers of that solution, and go after that small data. Taking that step-by-step approach might be more realistic than saying I'll wait for all the data to be ready and then I'll do something. So having more of a use case based solution might be more achievable.
Yeah. So Pooja, I love this because we had a conversation earlier with a woman who is all on the branding side of the house. And so she was very much so talking about you have to understand your problem and your client, but you can use AI to do that.
Yes.
So I think instead of people looking at it like this, I've got to have clean data. That's going to take me 6 months to really get it all clean. Like, use AI to do what you're saying, build that problem statement, get the MVP, go a little slower when it comes to making sure you have accurate data, good, clean data, and then use AI to accelerate again.
Yeah. You can't build a Zynga tower without having the right building blocks in place.
I love that.
I love these analogies.
I know, she's like just spitting them
I
out.
wanted to go back to like the whole like consumable part of it. I've been telling folks, I just got back from San Francisco last night from the HubSpot's inbound conference. And one of the things I was telling some of the sales folks there is like, you can't sell things in the age of AI that people don't know how to consume, right? One of the most challenging things are folks are trying to push these tools and this technology, but the people on the other end, like, who is it for, right? If you don't know how to consume these things, like, it's never going to go anywhere, you know? And then I think Erica was very, I don't know what the right word is, but the idea that all this data is going to be clean in 6 months, that's a very optimistic view. Consider, you know, Pooja mentioned MDM or master data management, and people have been talking about big data for the last 15 years, right? And people are still like, my data's still not clean. I'm like, you can't be a perfectionist. So I like that advice as well. You know, and being here at MIT, you know, this is just amazing space to see kind of this level of innovation. Like what are you hearing as it relates to what are some of the challenges to get people to adopt or to consume? I don't mean to take Erica off of track of the questions, but the consume piece is something I keep talking to folks about. So I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
So we just came out of a panel, right, where they were talking about uncertainty. So I think one of the biggest fear that I see people not wanting to use it is they are really uncertain. How will it impact my job? If I let too much AI creep into my space, will I lose my job? So that's one piece. The second is literacy. You won't believe, like recently I was going for a walk with my friends and we were talking about ChatGPT and two of my friends had never used ChatGPT. And I was like, how come? Like, I was just amazed.
Bamboozled.
I know. I gave them tips like, you got to go and try it just for small things because it genuinely makes life easier. So I'm still amazed, like even in today's world, there are people who just don't even know how to use the basic AI. Yeah, a lot of people, right? So how do we train them? The second is, last is like are they getting the value that they want? If I go to an AI solution, I'll give another example.
I love it.
It's got to be food, though. Is it going to be food?
No, it's not food this
man.
time. So
All
I
right.
was using ChatGPT and I wanted to create an image about something. And I kept on asking ChatGPT to create an image. At first, it created in some language. I don't know German. I thought it was German. Then I asked ChatGPT, hey, can you create it in English? And it wrote something. I knew it was not English. And I'm like, ChatGPT, you are wrong. So if your solution is not giving consumable product that I can't use, people will eventually lose faith. Like, I still use ChatGPT, but I've learned my lesson. Don't ask it to create images. So is your product, are your consumers able to consume the product? If not, there will be no adoption.
And I think the training is critical, right?
Yeah.
Because the point I would always, my counter argument would be, you know, it's garbage in, garbage out, but it's also context in.
Context.
Right.
Without context, it would make no
Right.
sense. Yeah.
Because it's trying to, you know, hallucination is not a bug, it's a feature, right? It's intended.
And it's so confident. Like for me, that first image it generated, it's so confidently presented. This is the image you want. And I'm like, don't know what language is this in.
So what I would say then, my pushback would be then, training people on how to actually create the right images, understanding, like, hey, maybe you shouldn't try to get text as a part of it because, as I always try to explain to folks, it's not writing, it's drawing, which is radically different, and it just continues to progress. But the point is well taken. It doesn't matter. If your experience is one of which you feel like you can't consume it, and going back to the point you made earlier, and there's no value in that handoff, then you're going to not adopt it. You're not going to use it. And we're seeing this every day inside of the workplace.
So there are two pieces, right? One is the user need to have enough context. Like I learned, okay, ChatGPT is good with text, but not with images. The same is like now, how do you keep on evolving your models so that it's more consumer friendly? And ChatGPT maybe like doesn't produce image. It stops like, hey, I'm better at this.
It might. It could be very confident sometimes.
Yeah.
One question I do have for you, because, I mean, you've been in data 15 years. You know that stuff inside and out. That is the scary part for me because I'm not that kind of girl. What advice would you give for people who are not in the data science in how can we protect our data? Because I think that is a big, you talked about uncertainty, people not knowing what's happening. What should I, as like a non-technical person, do to protect my data?
So there are simple things, right? I think everybody's data in some ways will be used in digital marketplace. I don't know.
I will also say I think all my data is already out there anyway. So I'm not like that worried, but go ahead.
But yeah, the simple things you could do, like we were having the earlier tech session, looking at the settings of the app you are using and if there is any data privacy setting that you can turn it off. Don't sign up for things that you don't need. So don't
Lesson
give
number
data
one.
unnecessarily to somebody. Explore all the settings. I think those are few things you can do to make sure your data is protected.
Is that something that you do just intuitively as this data person? Like every time you get an app, you're clicking the settings?
Tell
Not
the truth.
just that, keeping up.
I'm like, accept.
Like WhatsApp recently released a feature, right, where you can turn off so that it won't import all the chat features and like somebody cannot use it in an LLM. You won't believe I literally went to every single group message where I was admin and I turned them off. So yeah, I try to keep up as much as possible so that my data is not shared, at least unintentionally. But at the same time, I'm aware that I can't protect it completely as well.
Yes, I love that. We need people like you in our chats to keep us safe, Pooja. Pooja, what are you most excited for when it comes to women and AI, especially being at this conference?
The one thing I really enjoyed from all the things in conference today is AI is going to make our life simpler. And it's going to make complex in some ways too. But some of the speakers talked about empathy and compassion and how we need more of that to complement our life that technology is taking over. And as a woman, we are very natural in that. So I'm very excited about that piece, that as a woman leader, I can combine some of this technology advancement with my empathy skills and compassion skill and be a better leader at work.
Oh, I love it. Oh my gosh. Pooja, thank you so much for being on the podcast. This is the Voice or Victim podcast, and we are here live at the AI-Powered Women's Conference at MIT. Thank you so much, Pooja.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on AI, Voice or Victim. If you want to stay competitive in the AI age, start now. Take one insight from today's episode and put it into practice in the next 24 hours. Make sure to follow us, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more actionable AI insights. See you next time.